Hi everyone, I have just seen Independence Day 2 and I hated it. I hated every single moment of it. It was awful. It was a truly terrible film. I did not enjoy it one bit. Do not go and see it. It's just wrong on every level. Now, let's be clear. The first film wasn't perfect. It was incredibly cheesy. In fact, the first film was so cheesy you'd come out of there smelling you'd been working in a brie factory for a week. But I still enjoyed it, even though the special effects look a little bit dated now. I did think it was generally an all-round feel-good, enjoyable film. This film, I hated it. It was not a feel-good film. In fact, I was wriggling around in the cinema waiting for the film to end so I could just get out of there. In fact, I felt like leaving multiple times during the film, but I stayed to the end so I could see the inevitable, predictable conclusion. In fact, the entire film was so predictable. In fact, if anyone watches it and cannot guess how any scene is going to pan out, then you have something seriously wrong with your IQ and you need to go back to school and get a re-education, because it was just terrible and wrong in every single sense of the word wrong. And the music was just irritating and just the dreary, predictable that they have in these sort of films. There was no thought or imagination whatsoever into the soundtrack. The scripting was bad, the storyline was just awful in every single regard, and it was just cringy. It wasn't cheesy like the first one. In fact, if you were to say it was cheesy, they'd taken the same cheese and just let it go mouldy for the last 20 years and then just force-fed it to us and hoped that we wouldn't regurgitate that just terrible, dreary, hideous piece of nonsense. In fact, I'm actually annoyed and angry that I spent my money watching that thing because I don't have a lot of spare cash to throw around, and I went to the cinema hoping that it might be a good film and it just wasn't. I am so disappointed with it. I can understand very clearly why Will Smith said he would not take part in this sequel, because he actually has a brain inside his head and probably read the script and was just like, no way am I touching that awful piece of garbage. I'm trying very hard not to swear on this video because on some of my videos I do swear, but this film is rated 12A, so there may be younger people watching this, and even though they probably know worse words than I do, I don't want this video to get age restricted, but I'm holding myself back from just absolutely letting loose on how much I felt this film was bad. In fact, this film is so bad, I'm actually filming this on a lower resolution so I don't have to waste my time with exporting the video and uploading it, because I don't want to waste my time with such dreary rubbish. I'm not putting any trailers. Normally, if you watch any of my other film reviews, you may notice I put trailers or clips in my film review. I'm not going to waste my time with this absolute garbage of a piece of rubbish. Just don't watch it, okay? It was just absolutely terrible. First of all, they killed off Will Smith's character, so I can't even be bothered to look up and remember what his name was because they just ruined it. But the reason they killed him off, not in the film, they killed him off several years prior to the film, and the way they killed him off just annoyed me, to be honest, and just everything about it. And then there's like, towards the end of the film, there's a bunch of children in the film. It's like, why are they even in this film? They have no business being in this film. It just adds a whole extra layer of wrongness to the film having them in it. There's no reason to it. They don't add anything to the storyline. They're just there, I don't know, maybe to appeal to the kids who watch it, because they go, oh look, they're my age. but they have no business being there. They don't contribute to the overall outcome of the story. They're just there to be annoying, and they have no business being there. There's something that happens in the beginning. I'm going to try and do this spoiler-free, but basically, right from the very beginning, us wonderful humans make a mistake, and it's so obviously a mistake. And you're just thinking, why have they done that? It's just so stupid and so predictable what the outcome is going to be, and then it's just one bad scene from one to another. They're on the moon, and then some stupid stuff goes down, and then they come back to Earth, and then it's just awful, and they're all like congratulating themselves, like, isn't this wonderful? And then some bad stuff happens, and then you see some other characters from the first film, and it's just the way they're introduced is just so bad. And then they try and have the occasional joke, but it's not a comedy, and the jokes aren't funny. At no point did I laugh, but you could see they were trying to bring some light-hearted humour into it. And I'm disappointed. I'm upset. Okay, I'm upset. I'm angry at it, to be honest. I've watched bad films, but I've never been angry by a film by its utter awfulness. In my mind, as I'm narrating what I'm saying, I'm swearing constantly, but as I said, I'm trying not to swear because, you know, it's a 12A film, so I'm trying to do a 12A review, but it's just a bad film. I can't emphasise enough how much I did not like this film. It was... In fact, do you know what? That's the end of this review. I'm not going to do any more about it because it's upset me, quite frankly. So, yeah, I'm just going to end it there. Okay, I'm not doing this anymore. It's too